Let's check how API route works. Let's go back to Visual Studio, go to Web API config in AppStart folder. Look at the route template. It has a prefix API. It's constant for every route, and the controller name and the ID. ID is optional here. Note that we may name the API prefix anything. Let's stop debugging and name it Contoso. Let's look after values controller. The route for values controller now, the prefix Contoso and the controller name values following the HTTP verbs get, post, put and delete. Let's check it. Let's go to our student controller and change the prefix from API to Contoso. Save all, rerun the application, go to student form and click on submit button. Look, it's working. We reached at the API endpoint as we have changed our API prefix and used the HTTP delete verb. Let's check the HTTP verb. Click on submit button and we reached at the API endpoint. Let's continue. Right click and inspect to check the data. Yes, we got the data. Let's go back to Visual Studio again, stop debugging and change the method name from get to get something. Let's do that for rest of the methods. Let's rerun the application, go to student form and click on submit button. Great, we reached at the API endpoint. Now let's avoid the HTTP verb prefix at the beginning of our methods. Let's keep one method with the HTTP verb prefix. Let's rerun the application, go to student form and click on submit. This time we could not reach at the API endpoint. Let's right click and inspect and click on console to read the error. Well, it says the request resource does not support HTTP method get. So now it's clear how the API route works. The API route works with the prefix whatever we use, for now Contoso, and the controller name and the HTTP verbs as prefix at the beginning of methods in our controller. Well, if we feel clumsy and don't want to go with this architecture, then we can use route attribute. Let's do that. Let's stop debugging, use the route attribute and pass name whatever we want. Let's name it call my API. Select the route name, copy it. Let's go to our student controller and change the API route. Let's save all, start the application, go to student form and click on submit button. We could not reach at API endpoint. Whatever happens, we use route attribute or we go through the previous architecture, we must use the HTTP verb as prefix with our method, or we have to use the HTTP verb attribute. Let's use the HTTP verb as attribute. Let's rerun the application, go to student form and click on submit button. Yes, this time we reached at the API endpoint. Let's continue debugging. Right click and inspect and we got our return data. Now it's time to save our form data in database. Let's do that in next lesson.